We have this great ambassador program where we actually have residents that have lived here for a bit longer than some of our, obviously newer residents, and they volunteer their time to truly come alongside and meet our new ladies and gentlemen in the community, and to really just show them around, to invite them to dinner, to tell them about what's going on at town hall, resident council, to invite them into a group that they might find, interesting to them.
Yeah.
It's great to be able to meet staff and to recognize, what each person does here. But it's another thing to meet other residents as they're reaching out to you. That feels so much more comforting when you have people knocking on your door saying, "Hi, I heard that you're new here. My name's so-and-so. I'd love to just kind of show you around for a little bit."
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are here with a special Trustcasters episode again at the Gardens at Town Square. And I'm here with Seth Hutchins, and he is the counselor, background in psychology, and works with the residents in not only this community, but the Lakeshore up on down in Renton. Nice to meet you, Seth. And I'm excited to speak with you because obviously, making a transition into senior living, that's a huge life change. And to have somebody like you on staff, tell me a little bit about your role.
Yeah, Suzanne, as the community counselor, my main focus is on the social and emotional well-being of the residents that call this place home. And, especially during those early stages when you're just getting settled into the community, there's so many moving parts. As we know, moving it can be complicated. And so really what I like to do is meet with our kind of new residents as they come into the community to get to know them, to find out, really exactly kind of what their needs are, but to also get them connected with other members on our staff as I get to kind of get familiarized with what their needs might be. And so kind of answering questions, getting them kind of orientated to what's happening in the community. I love going over our beautiful monthly calendar that we have, so they have an idea of all the great events and activities that are taking place. But really just to kind of meet them exactly where they're at. And to hopefully just provide a voice of reassurance in the midst of what can feel like a storm.
Absolutely.
Just to provide a calm and just a sense of security as they navigate their process. And it's always unique. So really just kind of meeting them where they're at.
You saying that, and I go back to my own memories of when I moved my mom into assisted living. She let go of her home. She had to come to where I lived, so she left our hometown behind. There was, she and I at the beginning were not close. She was thrust into my world. She wasn't happy. There was this going on. To have somebody like you would have been amazing in helping us adjust and helping us work together, because I think there's a whole family dynamic there as well, is there not?
Absolutely. The family systems are always a unique and often complicated part of the process. You're right, especially in the early stages when you're coming from what might be your home that you've lived in for 30, 40 years. There's downsizing that's taking place. There's a whole lot of transitions that, are happening within the span of just a few short days.
And letting go of things, because you've downsized and all of a sudden you're in this situation where, your china and your crystal and all of the, the valuables that they may have had in their world, all of a sudden that's changed. And it's, change is hard for anyone, but now it's like kind of trying to make a shift, especially when you're feeling vulnerable. Maybe you have to move into assisted living because you need more care. And then there's that level of vulnerability, is there not?
Absolutely. for most people, I think change is not often met with open arms. And you're right, having to let go of personal belongings, a home that you've lived in for decades.
Sure.
It's a felt palpable sense of loss.
Yeah.
And I think recognizing that and our team having an understanding that that's just something that many of our residents are feeling as they're coming into the community. It makes it so much more, apparent and evident that we need to really be providing support as soon as they walk in the door. So all of our directors, take time out of their schedule to make a point to meet with new residents within the first 2 weeks of them being here.
That's amazing.
So they're getting their questions answered. They're being able to put names to faces. They're just getting acclimated into this whole new scene.
Huge. And when I think about if somebody's from the outside looking in, as they're going to be watching these videos, I think a big question they have in the back of their mind is, will I fit in?
Yeah.
What if they don't like me? What if I, those kind of feelings of everything's new. Tell me a little bit about that process and what that happened.
We've all probably experienced the feeling of being the new kid at school, right?
Yeah.
Walking into the lunchroom with maybe not knowing anybody. And that's a very powerful feeling. We're cognizant to that. And we have a lot of great programs to help, I think, smooth that transition to make it a successful one. I'd love to share about just a few of our programs that we offer here. The most powerful program here that I've seen is we have this great ambassador program where we actually have residents that have lived here for a bit longer than some of our, obviously newer residents. And they volunteer their time to truly come alongside and meet our new ladies and gentlemen in the community, and to really just show them around, to invite them to dinner, to tell them about what's going on at town hall, resident council, to invite them into a group that they might find, interesting to them.
Yeah.
And so truly walking alongside them for the first, month or so as they're just kind of getting familiarized with this whole new, way of life. And I have found that to be a really, powerful support tool for our new residents.
Absolutely.
So you actually feel like you're meeting a friend organically through the community. It's great to be able to meet staff and to recognize, what each person does here. But it's another thing to meet other residents as they're reaching out to you. That feels so much more comforting when you have people knocking on your door saying, "Hi, I heard that you're new here. My name's so-and-so. I'd love to just kind of show you around for a little bit."
Yeah, and that's one of the things in interviewing your other residents. That's a common thread, that there's a lot of feeling of, wow, I felt so welcomed here. Everybody smiles. And that's a lot to do with the culture that Era Living provides. Could you tell me a little bit about how that is developed?
Yeah, well, it all ties back to the Era Living mission statement, which is to respect and honor older adults by enhancing the quality of their lives. Now, each of our directors, we perform that and execute that in a very distinct way. But each person is going to come into the community with a different set of needs.
Absolutely.
And so it really takes time getting to know the individual. So that's why we set aside that time as they're coming in early to really understand what that individual or couple is about, what they're wanting to really make this community for them, and what we can do to help kind of meet those goals.
Right.
And it's all part of that wonderful acclimation process. We also have this great, that I actually get to lead. It's called a Newcomers group. It's a fun social gathering that we do on an ongoing basis, where all of our new residents are invited to basically this great happy hour, where we're having appetizers, wine, we're having entertainment, but on top of that, we're having our directors basically be kind of momentary keynote speakers, where again they're getting an opportunity for FaceTime, right? Answering questions, because in the beginning stages, there's so much happening that you don't know exactly what questions you're going to ask or need answers to, and perhaps a little bit later on.
Right.
So having that opportunity to come back and once again get FaceTime with with our leadership team, but to also, more importantly, to socialize and to meet other people that might be new in the community, to also get to mingle with other residents that are just kind of coming just for the drinks and appetizers.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's a great opportunity just for socialization, but for again education as well.
And socialization is so important. I mean, one of the things I think that we think about, it's not that important, but it really is. Absolutely. Could you kind of speak to that piece?
Yeah, socialization is paramount to our mental well-being. I think each of us have a different capacity as far as for what we need for that social element. I think the great thing about living in a community space is there is a just buffet that you get to choose from. And the wonderful part is that we try to incorporate that there's something for everyone. And so we really, whether it's the ambassadors, whether it's the leadership team kind of speaking about what's available in the community, residents kind of get a feel for what might be appealing to them. And so they get to, in their own time, kind of pick and choose and begin to kind of experience all the great activities, groups, and speakers that are happening right within their own home. And so, every person's, like I said, need is different, and there's no quota that someone needs to fill, but we want our residents to know that it's available to them.
And as a counselor, obviously a senior is going to go through numerous crossroads in their lives, whether it's health issues, whether it's grief or loss of a loved one. I'm assuming you're involved in a lot of those types of scenarios.
I am. I absolutely am. And you hit the nail on the head. Oftentimes there are many different feelings of loss that an individual might experience at this particular age in life. And we recognize that. And we do offer a variety of different support groups on an ongoing basis here in the community that I have the pleasure of leading. And I think having Air Living is unique in this way in which we are the only retirement community that offers a full-time or part-time mental health therapist or social worker on staff.
It's amazing.
I think having that resource, but also on top of it, having a trust and familiarity in that person already makes it so much easier to be able to reach out if and when there comes a time where more support is needed. And I think that's just simply invaluable.
Well, and for the family,
Absolutely.
I mean, I can only speak from my own experience. When my mom moved into senior living, she was calling me every day because there was this reticence about integrating into the community. And I was actually keeping her from doing that because I was trying to be the super daughter and help her, but really what I was doing is hindering her. If she would have had somebody like you that would help her in adjustment, what a difference that would have made.
I think so. And along with the residential support, a lot of the support we provide is for the families.
That's amazing.
Right. This is all a new process for them as well too. And so there's lots of feelings, emotions, as well as questions about what can I do to help support my loved one? How are they doing? What is your team doing to help support them? And so again, being a point of contact, being a trusted reference that families and residents feel safe with, it makes that process so much smoother.
Yeah. So Seth, if you had any advice for someone that's looking for their loved one, what would you share?
Well, I've been with this company for 10 years, and every experience, every resident is unique. I think number one, asking lots of questions, doing your own research is incredibly important, just so that you have an awareness of what is being offered and what is going to be most important to you. And as far as what your home is going to be able to offer you.
Right.
Secondly, is to start your research process early so that you can also get in early. It's always a huge benefit to be able to move into a community at a point of strength in your life.
Yeah.
And so coming in when you're able-bodied, when you're not in a health crisis, or just being able to experience and enjoy all the benefits that the gardens can offer. I mean, that just is so beneficial to the individual as well as the family.
Yeah.
The moving process is stressful enough. Come in at a position of strength. So I think, beginning the process early is always beneficial for people.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Absolutely.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.